Apple TV Plus. We land on Apple TV Plus, and we're going to talk about Bad Monkey. Now, Bad Monkey is a TV series, it's a detective TV series, and it's based on a series of books by a guy called, I think, Carl Hyacin.
Yeah,
And,
that's
oh, cool, yeah, I remembered. And this stars Vince Vaughn, and Vince Vaughn plays a character whose name I cannot remember, but he's one of these people that goes by one name, like, like Halaki or something like that, or Vinny. No, but that is his name. That's Vince Vaughn. So yeah, and this is Vince Vaughn at his most Vince Vaughn. You know when
fancy.
Yancey, that's it, Yancey, and thank you very much, Holly. And so he's at his most Vince Vaughn. He's quipping a mile to a dozen, talking and everything like that, having a conversation with himself in a room. Doesn't matter. And there's numerous scenes where he's in a room with somebody who's refusing to talk to him, and he just carries on talking. And when you meet him, he's not retired, but he used to be a police officer in Florida. But something happened, and that meant that he's like on suspension, and he keeps trying to do all these things to get back in and get his role back and get his job back as a policeman, because that's the only thing he knows how to do, the only thing he wants to do. And this then while somebody's shipping one day, as they're shipping, they on the end of their fishing line, up pops an arm, like a severed human arm pops up. And nobody wants anything to do with this arm because it means too much paperwork to try and investigate. So these people who are along the coast, they send him to Miami, and they say babysit this arm to get to the coroner in Miami, so make it their case. And so to get back in their good books, he takes this arm, puts it in his car in, like, an ice box, drives it to Miami where he meets a coroner, and they say we don't want this case or everything. But because of the way he has this thing where he just can't let something go. He can't let something go. So against everybody telling him, he decides to start investigating who is this arm, where did this arm come from, why was this arm there, and even so, and there's numerous times that even when he gets to a point where he's given an answer, like he finds out quite early on whose arm that is, but he doesn't buy the explanation as to why that arm is there. So he keeps digging, and he finds something else, and he keeps digging, and he keeps digging. And I think her name is Natalie Martinez. She plays a character called Rosa, and she plays the coroner. And there's a whole thing about, there's like, oh, will they, won't they, think they will. They will. It's kind of like, I'm watching Reacher at the moment, and essentially you can see that Reacher is Lee Child, the guy who wrote Reacher. Lee Child is his James Bond, where it's like his avatar. So in every Reacher story, I've never read a Reacher book, but from the TV series, what I'm getting is that in every Reacher story, there's going to be a female character who will be capable and who will be there, because if she wasn't capable and if she wasn't competent, she wouldn't appeal to Jack Reacher. But she will be in the story, and at some point, Reacher's going to sleep with her. That's that's going to happen. It's just
Pretty much all the book.
yeah. I figured that was like probably from the first scene or the first episode of the first season of Reacher. I was like, oh, so okay, I get what kind of story we're talking about. There's going to be a female character in every single story that he's going to sleep with. And I think so it's kind of like when Yancy and Rosa meet each other, there's like she does get her own story, and I think she does give as good as it gets. And Natalie Martinez and Vince Vaughn, when they're in a scene together, it sings. And I love them together as a pairing on screen. And the mystery, it jumps between Florida and the Bahamas, and it is it is delightfully off the wall. It is delightfully off the wall in all the different things that they do, all the different characters that you meet. What's her name? Jodie Turner-Smith. Jodie Turner-Smith plays like a sort of like voodoo lady in the Bahamas and everything. I really, really, really like the characterization of this show. I really like the characterization of this show. It is breezy, it is fun, it deals with murder and all that kind of stuff, but in a sort of very breezy, fun, throwaway Vince Vaughn way, and I quite liked it. So before I give it a star rating, Holly's going to tell us why it's rubbish, which is why she's never finished watching it.
It's not rubbish. I do really like it. I just love the book. Carl Hyacin books are hysterical. They're mad. And
Holly, sorry, I think we might have that thing with your mic again. It's a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I should lean forwards. That's part of the problem as well. I'm leaning
cool.
backwards.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, you were saying, they're mad.
So yeah, they're mad books. Squeeze Me, I would thoroughly recommend reading.
Okay.
Which is set at somewhere a little like Mar-a-Lago. But it changes some things. So I can't quite explain why, but Michelle Monaghan doesn't quite look like the way I saw Bonnie being.
Oh yeah.
What the reason Yancey finds himself suspended is a little bit more shocking in the book, though also really funny, though it shouldn't be.
I imagine that there's some things that because of the way the show is and because of the sort of topic it deals with, I'm very interested that there's some things that they've softened to make it more palatable for a TV audience.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
And the Dragon Queen, played by Jodie Turner-Smith, is in the book an old woman who is absolutely grotesque.
Oh.
Yes, she is, and she goes around on a mobility scooter.
Oh.
Cackling and drunk all the time. It is quite a different sort of character. She is decidedly not the desperately beautiful Jodie Turner-Smith.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it at some point because I do like it. But yeah, the book has found a special place in my heart.
All right.
So I would recommend reading it because they're not long reads either. But Carl Hiaasen is genuinely a funny author.
All right. So, but okay, for me, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, and I really like the Natalie Martinez character, which is what makes me sad because I know there's more than one Yancey book, and Yancey is I think he's kind of Carl Hiaasen's Jack Reacher, so that means, quite frankly, no more Rosa. I mean, unless they're gonna change a whole bunch of things, we're not seeing that character back again, and that makes me sad.